Hello everyone! I'm editing and this just happened, so I thought I'd do my intro here. Welcome to the video, and today I will be drawing a dragon and a lady. I'll be finishing an artwork that I started a few weeks ago. So enjoy! And say hello, Fen! Hello!
I wanted this piece to feel like the dragon was sort of trying to consume the lady. I started this piece maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Got the face of the dragon filled in, and then I just didn't pick it up again. I don't know, sometimes I start things and then I don't finish them, so it felt good to come back to this piece and finish it with you guys. I've been consumed recently by this really big project. It's a website. It's an art website, and I'm treating it like a sort of like a portfolio. So all of my stuff is on there. There's a blog in which I post life updates and art updates. I'm also about to start a Masters of Creative Arts, which is very exciting. And I'll be posting updates on what art school is like on there as well. So yeah, if you're interested, it's cookiemakesdragons.com.au. If you type into Google Cookie Makes Dragons, like without any spaces, it'll pop up. But yeah, I've been obsessed with dragons since I was a little kid. I've been drawing them, I've been imagining them. It all started when my grandma got me a book. You know the book. It's the Dragonology book. I loved that to the point where I used to do the homework from the book. I don't know if that's a little bit too niche for people, but yeah, there was homework in that book for budding dragonologists, and that was my dream job. And I was devastated when I grew up a little bit more and found out that dragonology isn't an actual real job. So instead I decided to try and make a career out of drawing dragons. I think that's pretty close. So here I'm doing this technique. Well, I'm about to start gradienting the lines, making them softer, making the shadows blend in a little bit. There was a lot of layering for this piece, a lot of color layering. I've been learning about art theory more recently, and it's just something that I've avoided my whole life, even though I'm an artist and I do drawing and painting in color. It just felt like it was too inaccessible to learn. I found some really cool YouTube tutorials and accessible PDFs online that have been helping teach me about just the fundamentals of color theory. So, um, adjacent colors, contrasting colors, how to use those, how to apply it in art. Very, very interesting stuff. Like, my history in art is I've never stopped. That's what I usually tell people when they ask me, like, when did you start doing art? I never stopped. Like most kids, they draw, they paint, they mess around with art, and I just loved it so much as a kid that I just never stopped painting, never stopped drawing, never stopped trying to create things, to the point where I'm now addicted to it. You know, there's people that they say that that they can't not make art. That's me. I can't not make art. I go stir crazy. Actually, I went on holiday last year, just to another state in Australia, and I didn't bring any art supplies, and it was only 2 weeks. Within a day, I had bought some art supplies, so that is how addicted to it I am. So yeah, my name's Jessica. I'm a Melbourne artist, or NAM, if you have heard of it. I am an autistic person. I've also had some severe mental health issues, and I feel like that is relevant to my work. It's portrayed in my work a lot. I use dragons as a metaphor for escapism. So my escape in childhood was books, particularly books on fantasy, fantastical big adventures, things that dragons were involved in, usually adventures that involved dragons. They are my special interest, as you probably have realized by now. But yeah, so at the moment in my drawing process, I am colouring her hair blue because of the blue in the horns, or like the side horn. I find one thing that keeps art cohesive is to reuse colours in the piece, in different elements of the piece. It helps make things more cohesive, more familiar as you're looking through the work. So I do it a little bit later on as well with the background. I use the yellow from the horns, from the top of the horns, yeah. So just quickly back to the website. I made it myself using Squarespace. I had a look at some of the other options like Etsy, and I just thought a lot of people don't trust Etsy anymore, which is why I wanted to build my own website. Just because of how much like AI process is on Etsy. I think people appreciate handmade more now because of AI. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't. But in the circles that I'm in, people are really clinging to this idea of handmade stuff and of appreciating imperfection in things, which I really like. I think it brings an appreciation to the process that it takes artists and makers to make things, because it takes a while, as you can see in this video. So I had a look, and Squarespace was the one that was the most financially viable for me, because I am on a very tight budget, as is everyone these days with the financial recession. Yay! That was sarcasm, by the way. I don't think anyone's enjoying it except for the top 1%. I built the website. Originally, it just had a folio and a shop page, but I haven't been able to afford to make many prints so far. That's about to change, but I haven't been able to make many prints so far due to the fact that I have had to outsource my printing, and so I couldn't diversify the amount of products that were on my website. I think I have one print listed on my website, and it takes me a while to finish paintings for them and then to be happy enough to sell the painting. So I've done a few paintings, but I'm not happy with them. I don't want to sell them. So I think I have a painting on my website as well. But keep your eye out if you're interested, because I just got a printer. Now that's been a big research process, but once I've kitted out the printer, it was secondhand. I got it from my grandma. Shout out to grandma, love you. She gave me her old printer because she still is a photographer, and she photographs everything. Love her. And she needed a professional printer back in the day to print photos. But this particular printer was a brand that she didn't know how to use, so she didn't use it much or at all, from what I've been told. So that's exciting. I just need to get it started up, cough the dust off of it, and I should be able to create prints of things like this beautiful drawing right here, which, as I'm getting through it more and more, I'm really, really happy with how it's coming out. I really like the, maybe not the process it took to get here, because that took a little bit long, but yeah, definitely like definitely how the dragon's face looks, how the girl is situated within that. I think it's just really pretty, but I'm gassing myself up, so ignore that. Something I'd wish I'd done for this video was film it in landscape. As you can have probably realized, it's not the right format for YouTube. I'm used to filming TikTok content, filming Instagram content, which is a very different frame. So I didn't even think when I set up my phone, because I'm filming on my phone, about filming it in landscape. That's a new thing, so you'll have to bear with me with all this, because I am new to this process and I'm gonna make mistakes. It's just sort of how these things go when you're new to making. I'm also new to this software. I'm using a software called DaVinci Resolve to edit my videos, and I've done a little bit of video editing in Adobe way back when I used to go to TAFE before I got into uni, but I haven't like done anything close to this type of video editing since then. So it's a process. Bear with me. I'm doing pretty simple editing though, so Google is my friend. Google is actually, we're all gonna have to stop using Google soon, now that they've changed the way that they're gonna do with AI. It's so invasive, isn't it? Like all of the AI and different things. I don't know. I thought to begin with that it was a really good tool, but it's such a difficult discussion because AI is destroying our planet. It's as simple as that. The drinking water in countries with data centers is terrifying. If you haven't seen it, I recommend looking it up. So yeah, now I'm on to the last sort of section of my drawing. I chose to use a green, but I think I used the wrong color green, because I probably should have used like a lighter green, or maybe even not a green at all, considering I used a layer of blue underneath it. But I do use a lighter green to soften the edges sort of the scale shading. And I was dreading this process, but it didn't take me as long as I thought it would to render the scales. And it was a little bit meditative. I think the whole process has been really meditative. I get really nervous in front of cameras, like with my drawings, so I make mistakes like using dark green. But I think after a while, like, I settled into just making without being worried about the time it took to make. which is good. I've been struggling a little bit recently to get into that zone of like you can sit down for hours and hours and hours and just work, and it feels like 10 minutes. I don't know, maybe it's my medications, maybe it's because I'm not practiced at it anymore, maybe my brain's rotted from TikTok. Pick your reason. Whatever it is, I can't sit down anymore the way that I used to be able to, even like a year ago or 2 years ago. But I did it today, so I'm happy a little bit. Maybe a little bit more than a little bit, but yeah. Yeah, so here I go in with the light green. It almost looks like a yellow with this lighting, but it is a light green. And in this drawing, I'm using Prismacolors, which is a type of premium artist pencil that is so soft and buttery to use. You start out with them quite thinly, quite light on the paper, and then you layer them, and as you layer them it comes out this glossy mixed, and they actually mix. It's really, really cool. I discovered Prismacolors in high school, and I've not used anything else since then. They are a bit pricey. If you're just starting out, I think the closest I've come to finding, and you want the smoothness of Prismacolor, the closest budget option would probably be Crayola. Their pencils are really creamy as well. Or if you want like high quality mixing, then there's always good old Derwent, but they're a bit harder. They don't end up as glossy finish, and I know a lot of the YouTube videos, if you're watching people who do realism, they use Prismacolor because of how versatile it is, how soft it is. Yeah, so I'm just finishing up the scales over here, and it's been lovely like talking with you guys. I was a little bit nervous with the voiceover. I don't know if that came through or not, but it is my first time doing a voiceover for a long form video, and I hope that I did okay. I'm gonna make more videos in the future. Just bear with me because art takes a while. But yeah, if you want to buy this piece, it'll be up in my shop at the end of this month. This month being June. Sorry, I got thrown off for a second. It'll be up in my shop at the end of June. So if you're interested in purchasing a fine art print, it's Cookie Makes Dragons, and if you've .com.au or just Cookie Makes Dragons into Google, and if you've managed to make it this far, thank you so much, because I know it's not a short video, so I really appreciate you sticking with me for this journey. And yeah, I'm about to show the finished work. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.